Welcome back to EGX 2015. Here we have Gfinity, champion of champions. It is Fnatic versus Team Envyus.
Easy for you to say, man.
What's that?
Nothing.
Yeah. All right, Richard Lewis, Thorn on the desk. Guys, talk me through the last game.
Well, I've got to say again, it's one of those super close games. I felt Envyus. They should have done a bit better on the CT side. My mind keeps going back to that pistol round. They win the pistol. Buy SMGs, they're on banana, and Happy just goes for that sort of happy-go-lucky spray through the smoke, empties a full clip. Now, that's fine as a tactic usually. If you catch a bunch of people and get the kills, you look great. But the problem with that was, playing that aggressively and doing that, MBK was like behind New Box. He wasn't there to back him up when he needed to reload. He wasn't even ready with a flash or anything. Got swarmed, got pushed out. Fnatic got 3 T rounds off the back of that mistake. Which isn't to say maybe they couldn't have picked up an extra couple, but in a game this close, things like that matter. So that was ridiculous. Then you see Envyus sort of pull back into it. Usually they have godlike T sides, but again, the whole point about this matchup is it's amazing T sides from Envyus coming up against amazing CT sides from Fnatic, and that was kind of the tail of the tape. Fnatic just got across that finish line. Olofmeister dropping a 30, absolute monster, and Flusher again clutching rounds for fun.
This looked like we went back in a time machine to like October 2014 when this map, the 2 best teams on it were Fnatic and Envyus, and they used to just routinely get double-digit CT rounds, and that's all it became. It was a battle of how many CT rounds do you get, and as a result, then the premium on that T-side pistol round became huge. And so in this game, first half, you're like, okay, you've done enough. Great job. 10 rounds still, even despite all the Fnatic rounds. Happy had like 20 kills on the first half. They switch over, and Fnatic just outdoes them in all regards. They get better CT half. Olofmeister has 30 kills. I mean, the guy to really show how well Olofmeister played. Obviously, they narrowly won that game, and that's because despite his 30 kills, JW had something like 9 kills. Yeah. There was one point in the game where he was, I think it was 0 for 12 on the first half, so he was contributing nothing, yet they were winning 4 or 5 rounds in the first half. So you really saw this was like an exceptional solo performance by a few players on Fnatic, and some were really dragging the team down.
Well, it was almost like a 4v4 because Envyus had their own dead weight to be sort of dragging through. I thought Kiyoshima, or as DD might say, Kiyoshima, wasn't existent in this,
Fnatic were very much beating a dead horse there.
Excellent. I thought he played poorly. I don't think he's really turned up this tournament for them, and that's obviously going to be a concern. We talk about how Envyus have all this individual skill. Well, he's one of those players that they are going to be relying on against top teams like this, and he didn't really deliver at all. So it was almost like a 4v4 in that sense. But yeah, I thought Envyus had loads of great moments, loads of highlight moments. I thought they did enough on the CT side, but they lost that pistol. And here's the difference: Fnatic lost the pistol on. Fnatic won the pistol in the second half and built on it. Envyus won the pistol in the first half, but then got immediately eco'd out by just a stupid moment of poor judgment and lack of communication. And that, when you're at this top level, those are the mistakes that come back to haunt you.
And that was another map where, even though, listen, Flusher wasn't like any kind of a standout player, but there's just a couple of rounds where...
Disgusting.
He just does stuff it's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
It defies explanation. I mean, that kill he had when he was over near the library, he killed one guy to his right. I think it was on his left first, and then just... I can't remember which way it was, right or left. Whichever way it was, he just kept spraying and moved his whole screen over and just killed another guy who was over on the other side. It was absolutely ludicrous. Yeah. And yeah, if someone can do that, obviously it can get you out of miracle situations where you probably should be dead bang to rights there. You've got 2 guys firing at you, so add that into the 30 bomb from Olof, and all of a sudden, like I said, if Envyus let Fnatic stick around, it doesn't matter how much you're beating them early on. At the end of the day, the thing about CSGO is you can win 16-14, the other guy can win 16-1, that's still 1 map each. And we're here at the 5th map, and despite Envyus having played better for probably the majority of the sides so far, we're here at the 5th map. It's one that neither team's super confident on, and suddenly Fnatic have a chance to win the tournament.
Yeah, and just to point out some, like, again, little interesting things that I noticed going on. Happy was really keen to prove you right in that game, because the amount of rounds he was the last person alive, it was ridiculous. Even
when he was on ecos. Yeah. When they had full ecos, and it was like, it was almost like matchmaking, like 5 guys, we're all going to go in hard, right? Yep. I'm last alive. I better pull out now.
But
1v5.
I think it's also worth highlighting Pronax, and we're about to see a highlight of exactly what I was going to talk about here. Pronax playing in that pit. We've talked about how he lacked firepower on Mirage, for example. This is where he got a 4-man, I think it was. And again, like that was around that conceivably Envyus could have won on that T side. They'd already done the hard bit. They got up mid, they got up quad, and Pronax one flash, bang, 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 nade for the fourth from downtown, bit of a Kobe, and there you go. Great play from him. So Fnatic. Again, it's like they didn't look fluid. Not all of the pieces of the machine were firing, but when they had to come up clutch, they did. And that's pretty much been one of the features of this final, like when they've had way more clutch rounds than Envyus have.
What is looking at the game, what was the point where Fnatic was going to win guaranteed? We're at 13, I think, on the favor of the T side.
Well, again, it's very hard to pinpoint. I mean, we're about to see a clip here where obviously Envyus were in a bad spot. They've got 13 rounds on the board. They had to try and do a force buy. You can see Happy holding there at the bottom again.
Great work, mate.
And then, of course, after that, because they didn't even get any kills, they didn't do anything for the economy, didn't get a plant, they had to basically buy up what they could in the last round, then it was Tech 9s again. So that was pretty much the point where they surrendered, so to speak. But the reality is, I don't know why they kept trying to force the banana issue. Like, clearly the banana issue wasn't working. They were trying to get up there as terrorists, and Crim's had it locked down.
Here's something interesting. You alluded to this before, okay? That like I have kind of an interesting relationship with
absolutely.
Happy. Bit contentious because we disagree with some things in terms of like philosophy on the game of Counter-Strike. So when I've often brought up that thing, which I do partly because there's something to it. He's not an extremely tactical leader. He doesn't have very precise tactics that have to execute in a certain way. But I obviously am joking when I imply that he has no tactics. He just sends people out there to kill everyone, okay?
Yeah.
So when he sometimes gets like annoyed by that, he tried to tell me like, no, I've got this really good tactic right now. I said, okay, tell me your best tactic right now. It's the tactic that works all the time. And if I watch it, I'll be like, that's brilliant. And actually, he said it was a tactic. I'm not going to reveal what it was, but it's a tactic on Inferno, on T side, and it's a tactic that attacks the A site all the time.
Right.
And I watched it, and in this game, they did it sometimes, and it failed almost every single time. And as a result, you could tell they were panicking. They weren't getting any T rounds. And so what they relied on doing for a whole bunch of the rounds is just walking up banana, and Crimson All of them just ate that up every time they came there. There was even that ridiculous round where Crimson All of them, even on a buy round, had like P90s, both of them, smoked down and just fired all the way through. And when they were getting those kills, when they were rushing up to the car area, none of those were even contested. No one was going to kill them at that point in time. They were just free kills. They were just collecting free kills over and over and over again. So normally you think of Envyus, classically, and like we said, they're dangerous with every weapon. Even when they're on saves, what they're going to do is at least get a couple of you, and then it's going to be a 3v3, and we have better weapons, but we still have to watch be on our P's and Q's in terms of our positioning. That wasn't happening at all here. They were getting mowed down. It's so uncharacteristic. And I actually feel like I'm really interested on Cash now to see if the series is turned. Like whether now, after blowing that game there, where they had a very good chance to close the series out, whether now it's going to be in their heads like, after all of our good efforts, it's essentially in vain. Now, essentially, it's all tied up, and it's a best of one for the whole title.
That is a good point, actually, because on that map, I can only really think of one on the T side. I can only think of one force by stroke eco that they won, I think.
It was almost none, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was on the A site again. Which I think it's the one time it worked. So kind of a strange performance from Envyus, not typical of them. It was still incredibly close. That's what we expect. But Duncan's right again. They go into this final map. There's a psychological component now. You've been 2-0 up in a series. You've let Fnatic kind of grind back. Both maps were winnable for Envyus, I think. Like really striking mistakes have cost you. I mean, they could have. The mad thing is now, from a psychological perspective, they could have done a 3-0. There was literally 3 CT rounds on train they threw away, and that would have been enough to get them over the finish line, and they'd already be holding the trophy and quaffing champagne and everything else. So they've absolutely got to just knuckle down. They've got to, be completely calm and focused on this. I think I give them the edge on Cash, but then again, I said that about Inferno. So
right. So let's talk about Cash. This is the next map. It's the last map. This is the last chance that these guys have to get in there and get something done and take their victory over Fnatic. How do they need to approach this map with Fnatic style?
Well, I mean, we've seen Envyus on Cash already this yesterday, obviously, with the best of 5 format, and again, they've got this. Obviously, you need to utilize Kenny S in that mid area. You're going to do a lot of boosts for him, but I think what they were doing in terms of the A executes, where they were doing this kind of split. You get someone out in mids, you use Kenny S to sort of pick someone off, and then you can control. Do we go to the vent and do a B split? Do we come up highway and do an A split? That seems to be the way that they need to play. Now, they had some great executes with flashes coming out of A main and coming out of Squeaky Door as well. I think they did. I think their T side on Cash can really blow Fnatic away. But again, it's got to. what you're coming up against now in Fnatic is you're coming up against a very different beast. Now, Olaf Meister's warmed up. He's dropping 30 frags. You've got Flush, who's just clutching for fun left, right, and center. Pronax seems to have put to bed his poor performance on Mirage. Crim's Mr. Consistent and solid. It's only really JW that's been up and down. So Fnatic are in a good place, and it's gonna be another super close game. I know obviously that's kind of a bit of an understatement about how the final's gone, a bit of a cliche, but that's how it's going to be. But again, I just think the T side is going to carry Envyus over the finish line.
Well, this is why it being a best of 5 is what's allowed the series to play out like this. I think, like not literally in terms of the maps, because they would have been different, but if this had been a best of 3, I'm almost certain Envyus would have won it. They came out so hot early on. They were so good at all points, they would have just blown Fnatic away and they would have won, I'm pretty sure. But in this best of 5, having to play so many maps, you've seen early on, the first 2 maps, Fnatic wasn't in it fragging-wise. No. They had to rely on crazy clutches to even have a chance to get rounds. The last 2 maps, they've had guys who've been just dead even in terms of fragging with the Envyus guys. And as a result, I don't think it's that the Envyus guys are playing bad. It's just that once someone matches you in terms of fragging, you're not going to be as dominant. You're not going to be just ripping them apart. You get a kill. Okay, if you have less health, you get trade killed on. That's the way the game is supposed to work. That's the principle of Counter-Strike. So I'm expecting the 5th game, because it's so even now, I'm sticking with my original prediction. I think Fnatic's actually going to win this tournament. And the reason why is because at the moment, I still think they have the slight edge in the clutch rounds. And so if it's very close like that, once you get late in the game, I doubt someone's going to drop 30 kills on either team in this last map. So I think it's going to come down, especially Cash. It's classic as a retake map. It's where you get a lot of plants as terrorists. Both of you can, in theory. You get into that A site. But it's who's going to win those 2v3s, who's going to win the 2-on-2s. So I'm thinking it should be a fantastic map. I don't think anyone's going to blow anyone out, but I think Fnatic can edge this.
Yeah, I mean, Duncan's going to be insufferable if Fnatic do go on to win. I mean, he's insufferable at the best of times, which is, well, I'm the only guy who can work with him. But I think there is logic in what he's saying, and based on the evidence in the last Inferno game, you saw that all the clutches will go in the way of Fnatic. I'm going to stay true to my original prediction. I think the stage is actually set for Kenny S to step up and sort of exercise some of the demons from the major final, where he choked, obviously, on Cobblestone. Fnatic got the win, very emotional at the end. The stage is set. This is a map that plays to his strengths. We've seen him have some great performances on it, back in the Titan era and everything else. I honestly think that that's going to be the edge. Like, we're going to get some crazy performance from Kenny S. It's going to push them over the top, and you're talking about a 16-13 game to Envyus. But again, a memorable map in a final that's really been full of them, from start to finish.
And I've actually referenced multiple times this weekend, because when I did research to do an article about Olaf Meister, I saw this crazy trend where time after time there were these key cash games that Fnatic had, and when they would win them, he would almost be the solo carry. It's guaranteed he'd get 25 kills, 24 kills. There was a famous one at Gfinity, actually. Gfinity, I think it was Spring Masters 2, where he had almost the perfect game for the first 12 rounds or something. He hadn't been killed. He was like 27-2, assists and 0 deaths. So if he has anything close to an above-average performance here, I think that can be the ceiling factor, because we know he's an amazing player on this particular map. Fnatic as a team, maybe not that great on this map, just good. Obviously, it's Fnatic, so they've still got a good win rate, but I think he can be the X factor to win them this series. And at the moment, he's warmed up. And you saw yesterday, once he got warmed up against Nib, he just kept going for those last 2 maps. Yeah. So I think now's his chance to potentially shine. Like I say, you picking Kenny S over on Envyus, I think he definitely can be the difference maker, because obviously he can shut JW down completely. Yeah. And on a map like this, he can control the middle of the map. I think Olaf Meister's the guy for Fnatic, where he can take this title home for them.
Yeah, I would be inclined to agree. I still think no matter what performance Olaf Meister puts on Cash, and historically he's always been a beast on this map, I still think, pound for pound, it seems to be Flusher that's come up big in the must-win rounds. You think about the number of clutches he's made. I'd love somebody to get this statistic. I would love to see how many clutches he's made. I'm thinking of 1v2s. I mean, actually, what's interesting is Pronax has probably punched way above his weight in terms of clutching this event as well. So it just goes to show you, like I say, Fnatic, just, again, more miracles, just able to pull out things that don't make any sense, able to clutch rounds that they realistically shouldn't be able to. It is going to get to you. It's going to get to you in a final. It's going to get to any opponent they play, because they're like, what have we got to do to put this team to bed? That's the frustrating thing about playing Fnatic. I also understand why so many fans for other teams are so frustrated about it, because you're an Envyus fan, you're watching this, they get up to 2-0, you're like, Fnatic are going to get absolutely blasted away here. Then you have 2 super close maps where Envyus could have won, but Fnatic have done it again. They've gone clutch-tastic, and you're going into a final map thinking, I just hate Fnatic, me. I can't even believe this. Like, you know, if you're a fan of the opposite teams that they're wrecking, it must be super frustrating.
Yeah, and a little correction to what we talked about earlier. The coach for Fnatic is actually here. He's in the booth taking notes. He's watching the games. So we're getting in the last game. If we start to see
maybe
Fnatic,
we didn't see him because he was down on his knees kissing Olaf Meister's feet.
So we have him here. This is the last game. If things start to get into the Envyus field where they're starting to really just steamroll Fnatic, do you think we might see one of those timeouts?
Well, again, it's going to be completely situational. They haven't needed them so far. There were times on train where I was like, you need to call a timeout here because Envyus is getting back into this game. You've got to break up that CT momentum. They didn't utilize it, and they managed to get over the finish line. Now I just think they're supremely confident. It could even be a case of what Duncan was talking about from the AVE days, where you just do it to just frustrate the opponent. Like, if at any time it seems like Envyus are just getting a little bit, you know, if Fnatic do take a lead on this map, and it's going to come down to who gets the CT and T side to begin with. You know, you might just throw one in as a curveball to frustrate them. But ultimately, Fnatic have shown once again, whether there's a coach behind him calling timeouts, whether he's on his knees just making notes and watching the game, they've just got the mental strength. They've been in this situation a million times. You know, just they can overcome almost any obstacle, and they do it routinely.
Do you think Envyus has the mental strength to kind of come back from what they've done?
We find out I think there's no argument. We find out in this map. If they choke and lose after being 2-0 up against Fnatic, you've got to say it's back to the drawing board, expand your map pool, get the depth there, and you're going to have to work on your mental fortitude, because so far this is a final Envyus should have won.
Yeah, I'm kind of unconvinced at the moment, because the thing is, when you look at the series, with the maps that have already been, as soon as they won Cobblestone, because that was very questionable, Fnatic are really good on that, as soon as they got Cobblestone, that was their chance to 3-1, because then they win Mirage, okay, that's very doable. Okay, you were never going to win Train. You still had a good crack at it. And then Inferno, you're supposed to get that. You were really up. You were leading most of the way. That should have been the 3-1 win. So now that you've let that go, if things start to go at all badly, it's in the back of your mind. Hey, we almost had this series already. So you'd want them to say, no, we'll play on cash, we'll win here anyway. But you can never just assume someone has mental fortitude. That's like obviously one of the most valuable traits to have in the entire game.
All right. Thank you, guys. We're going to get this started. It is the last game in this best of 5. Take it away, Martin.
Thanks very much, Jared. Thanks very much, fellas. It's it. This is it now. This is what it comes down to. This is the final map of the final game of this Champion of Champions series. Everyone in this room, no matter where in the world you are at home, show your appreciation for both teams. Make some noise in here. Make some noise in here. Oh, that's better. That's good. That's exactly what we wanted. If you're in your house, you're in your bedroom, on your sofa, in your kitchen, make sure you're going crazy. Do not leave the room. We've witnessed another classic. I told you that's why we love best of 5s. Some people don't, but we do. That's twice. 2 times I said it now. So you know we mean it. Enough from me. Let's get hype, get ready. Cash is up next. Enjoy.
Welcome back, everybody, here to our grand final, Game 5. This is where it all ends. For either Fnatic or for Envyus, we have to find out who is our champion of champions.
Yep, this series really has earned that title, I think. It's been absolutely amazing so far. We saw Envyus go up 2-0, then Fnatic fighting back, and we have arrived on Dcash, the final map of this best of 5. We've seen all 15 maps this tournament, and it's going to be a fantastic crescendo to finish things off, I think.
Man, I can't wait for it to actually see if Envyus can pick themselves up after being 2 maps up to be drawn up with Fnatic 2-2. They may have expected it to come on Train. They probably didn't expect it to happen like this on Inferno. Sure. But there's also been so intense, these matchups. Back-to-back rounds coming in, or actually not coming in, actually being thrown back and forth between the 2 teams. It's been really intense CS.
It's been a lot of clutch situations as well. Things that could have been little nuances that are going to change the outcome of the entire match as well. But it all comes down to this one. Everything's leveled up, and Envyus probably feeling the heat a little bit. After getting that 2-0 position, we thought they were going to run away with it. We thought the 3 3-0 may be coming to fruition, but unfortunately for them, it's not going to happen. You can see the maps that we have played so far on your screen right now. We started off with Cobblestone, Envyus took that, and then Mirage. We expected Fnatic to bounce back, but somehow the 2-0 came in. Then Fnatic, Train, Inferno going in their favor, and that's how we arrived at Dcash now. So
it was still so close, like 16-13, 16-12. It wasn't a free walkover for Fnatic. They still had to work very hard to get these maps, and they're going to work just as hard if they're going to take cash.
Absolutely. This is Olaf Meister's home ground, I would say. We've seen him have some fantastic performances in finals again on this map before. Thorin referenced Gfinity performance against Virtus Pro in the grand final, where I think he went like 20 for 0 at one stage here. So if he can replicate that kind of form going into this one, it could be a very explosive finale indeed. As we go into the knife round now, this will kick things off. Cash, a very balanced map, I would say. It's not really like a one-sided affair. It's probably about 53% in favor of CT, so most teams will still choose to take that team, but both T-sides here are going to be really very impressive, I think. We're going to see some explosive action going into this one, so the knife coming in now.
Yeah, as Soren was saying, like, Cash is a great map for retakes. Like, there's so many great ways to move around. If you move it through vents, there's like pushes in through A, the direct push into B. But what happens when you lose control of mid? Everything can be split up if you're CT. So controlling that mid area is going to be really critical. And, well, at this point, maybe winning the knife is just critical for Fnatic. But Olaf, no way for him to stall it out at the last moment this time around. They're chasing him down with these knives.
Yep, so 4-on-2 now. Crims does manage to get one back. And we should see this one tied up pretty quickly as Pronas goes down as well. So Envyus do win the knife round. Like I said, I would assume they would take the CT side here, but you never know. Maybe they've got something up their sleeve and see what they will go with this. Just discussing it right now, and they will be swapping over to the CT side.
It's just more comfortable for them. Of course, this allows them to move into this slow kind of hold, maybe even getting into that double AWP position as well, which Envyus really enjoy.
We can see that, but one thing about Envyus is they've got an interesting CD setup. Sometimes they'll allow middle to be completely open. We saw that yesterday, in fact. So they have that different range where they can play more heavy stack towards A side, have the AWP looking down towards highway, and allow teams to think they have that false sense of security. We can go middle every round being uncontested there, and all of a sudden they'll switch it up and play 3 players towards mid and actually contested there. So a lot of mind games will be going on this one, but this is going to be a lot of aggressive players coming in as well. Imagine some pop flashes coming from the CTs, pushing into unfavorable situations to try and surprise the terrorist team. But here we go then.
Yep, let's start it off. We go
Final
live.
map.
So the countdown begins for map 5, Envyus versus Fnatic. Who will be able to take out the champion of champions? We are going to find out over the course of the next potential 30 rounds.
You will see most teams here will opt to go towards B on the pistol as the terrorist side, but it seems like Fnatic won't be going straight in for the rush here. They're going to be spreading out in a 2-1-2 formation. Bomb going to be towards mid. And Kenny S just looking in for that first bit of intel there. He may get some confrontation right now as Pronax will make his way over there with the smoke grenade as well.
He's just trying to blindly just bang through there with the USP. And Envyus playing a very close defense. Keo actually playing from up in checkers now. He's going to back himself out. Not the most comfortable position for him. As now Kenny S. Also retreating back to the side after just exchanging that first little hits. But Fnatic, they just play a little bit more defensive this time. As you said, like there's no... They just have one up on the boost. Maybe Olaf can get that initial pick. And in fact, it looks like it's going to be Crims to do it. Find that pick up in mid so they are able to take control of Z. But as you said, Envyus, sometimes they like to split it up.
It's going to be the B split coming in here from Fnatic. You've got Kirishima waiting on the side now. He's going to be confronted with the terrorist team. Kenny S helps him out though, but Pronax and Olaf Meister help out things and open up that B bomb side for them. Happy going to be the last remaining player here, and that's going to be the round tied up here. A very slow approach from Fnatic, getting that mid control, having the players towards B storage as well, pincering that side. Kirishima unable to get a frag there. Kenny S chimes in with 1, but that's going to be a pretty much easy round there for Fnatic. As they have 4 players remaining there. Happy now just looking for that. Any sort of frags you can get on the exit here.
Man, they couldn't find anything when they ran in. Like, you get a couple of chip shots, you rely on your player who's playing, like, lower heaven to try and come in and help out and get at least 1 in return. But Olaf, with the jumping shot, takes out Happy. And Fnatic only losing Flusher for that round win. They go 1-0.
Well then, of course, though, Envyus will be buying up into this round, so they will get the Desert Eagles of 5-7s and a few Cs as well. On the screen right now, you can see Kirishima desperately trying to find some frags there, but the swarm of Ts taking him down. As we go into round number 2 here, we can see an interesting buy coming in for Fnatic. They keep Promax and the Silence USP. JW on the MP7 and Flusher on the Mac 10 as well. They'll probably do something a little bit slower pace there, maybe boost someone up, gain some intel as to where the stacks may lie. And right now it's Envyus, 4 players towards the A-bomb side.
Yeah, if Fnatic realize this, they're going to get the hell out of there. It was an early nade being thrown up by Olaf, just blocking up the front of A main. So Envyus can't push up to get a lot of early information. As Fnatic just boost over the mid even more. And they break the vent. Still no rotation, but the B player should have heard that.
I'm just seeing if they get a reaction from this at all from the CT side. You can see Olaf Monster getting his way into A storage right now.
Just going to be careful about looking up towards Cat. But they've actually got a really good cross here, Envyus. But Pronax is going to make a big distraction. He comes up highway, but Olaf not really finding the moment to go in. In fact, they just end up throwing out the smoke and backing the hell out of there. They must be moving over to B because they're already through checkers. There is that one B defender, and is happy. It'll bring down one as JW got to use these boxes to his advantage, but he cannot do so. But he's got support coming in from Apex, who picks up the AK and gets back out again almost until Olaf will arrive in. Coming in through the vents, the banging keeps going on. Up from heaven, the 2 CT defenders. Olaf now arrives with that AK. He'll start the plan. That Mac 10 can't do enough, and it's only up to Olaf right now. He's getting completely pincered, and that'll be the retake from Envyus. And once again, we go back to what we had previously, the pistol round follow-up.
We see an interesting decision from Pronax there. He stayed on the Silence USP. He was the recon player there. He was asked to go in and see whether he could go up highway and work out what was going on. So he got up there, got taken down by Apex on the A side. It forced the T's to go back into B, and the rotations came in very quickly, and he saw the frags flying in at that stage there, coming into this difficult situation. I thought once he got the bomb down, they may be able to salvage around, but Olaf Meister finds his demise here. Yeah, the Deagle coming in. From MBK, it does some fantastic work there, and he gets isolated onto the bomb side. So they come back now, 1 plays 1, and now Fnatic are going to be on the P250s. They have got Tech 9 on Flusher. But this should be a pretty easy round for them. There's no utility for the T's whatsoever. Yeah. So they just have to run out. You can see one player actually making it to
Pronax actually gets up close, but MBK, P90 just too strong. Actually goes through the wall to kill off Olaf, while Apex can't actually control the mid just yet. He finally brings down JW, goes for the second, doesn't actually finish it. Now he does. Crims finds the revenge pick, but you've lost one, and what's been taken in return? Almost everything from Fnatic.
So they get 1 kill onto Apex, but yeah, as you said, the damage has been done. Crims has got the bomb, and he will be dealt with MBK now. This is a serious chance for them to actually build up their bankroll right now. As you can see, Fnatic have got a decent supply themselves. They're going to get the AWP, in fact, and that's going to be dropped over to JW. He's got the armor as well. So now, what can they do with this first round? I don't think CTs will be quite ready for this. They got the P90 on MBK, but Kenny S has got the AWP as well. Let's see where he's going to go with this weapon. Actually looks like he's going straight towards B. He's going to have the backup of Kiyoshima as well. And will he be going for that aggressive take as Flusher makes his way over there as well? Yeah,
Flusher. He's going to throw out the smoke for now. Kyo very aggressively moving forward with the AK. And Kenny S actually does find that pick up on Flusher. So now Fnatic down a man. They've still got JW with that AWP, but they haven't found the early pick. Olaf at least gets himself pretty deep into A main. But he also cannot see anyone just yet. There's no information being given by Envyus.
Apex there towards Sean. Kenny S picking up another kill. That's the AWP player. JW got boosted up and absolutely wrecked there.
They're going to boost again.
They're going through Olaf Meister fancy charge. That's pretty much the only option they have. They have no positional control anywhere else in the maps. They need to try and smoke off the Z-holes and see whether they can find something. The CT's playing this cleverly. They're not going to give anything away now. They know they have the advantage, and it'd be an absolute nightmare for them to throw it away in this situation.
Apex, the flash to give him a little bit of cover. Smokes up that movement. He doesn't actually see Olaf, who is now going to drop down with that AWP into mid, keeping his eyes on headshot box. But Apex in the perfect position for this too. And yep, Olaf actually caught with the rifle down. Pronax is at least able to get some revenge, but it cost him a lot. 75 of that HP, and Pronax, well, it is a 1-for-1 trade-off, and it's all up to him now. He lost his teammate Crims, trapped inside the vents, getting sandwiched in, down to 4, and now down to 0. MBK, with the help of Apex, is able to win the round, and Envyus now 3-1 on their CT side, and Fnatic strapped for cash.
Yep, looking pretty strong as well. They're going to go for that double AWP setup. Kenny S really opening up the round that time. Takes down the first pick onto Flusher, answers back onto JW as well. The fact they actually get to 2 first picks of the round really to suggest he may be turning up this final. So Happy going to be wielding the AWP as well. He'll be taking that towards quad by the looks of things. There's a fast mid-take now coming in from the terrorist. turrets. They are on pistols, but they're trying to get that mid control nice and early on. He looks at the B split, maybe coming in.
And they're coming in really quick too. If Kenny S pops up right now, misses the first shot, needs to find that second, can't actually claim it, and they're going to close the distance. Actually, no, they're not. The CT support is just too strong. They hold the site, and this will be a very quick pistol round from Fnatic as JW locked at headshot box, and MBK will finish the job there. 4 rounds to 1 in favor of Envyus. Now this is now a buy round for Fnatic.
So yeah, Pronax is working out what he's going to do with this one. He's going to go for the 5 AK setup this time. So we haven't really seen any proper executions from them onto bomb sites. A lot of picks coming in on the gun round. So let's see if they can slow the pace down. They're not going to be trying to work those picks so intently right now as they haven't got that orb to fall back onto. Apex will be molotoving off the boost there. It's not going to be a problem for the team. They won't go for that. Those mid smokes coming in once again.
Apex got so far up with that because they were able to Molotov at least the prop-up box. Now Apex, he can't get the win. The smoke was there. JW wasn't really aware that Apex had pushed up so far, but he still wins out in the battle until he gets grenaded down. But there's more help. MBK stopping Pronax, at least cleans up the mid for the CTs to rotate over from. But this T side, they're already on top of the A side. The bomb plant's going to go down. Keo as well as Kenny S. They're making their way up now. Looking for that opening.
Retake going to be very difficult here. Smoke's blocking them out. Kenny S
over.
needs to find a pick.
If he can just get a little bit of information, but he can't find anything, and now it's just not worth it. Like, just back it up. They're smoked up too much. Just let it go. Hold on to the orb. Hold on to the AK.
Apex actually had the right idea, you know, that he was actually playing middle by himself, and they got smoked out. The mid smokes coming in from Fnatic. Flashbangs came over. He had 2 players in front of him. He had the opportunity to take both of them down. A little bit of a whiff on his part. Doesn't manage to take anyone. If he'd got 1 kill there, it could have been a different situation. They made their way up the highway and got up to the A bomb site, and it was just too much of a difficult retake considering the amount of smoke grenades they still had left in their arsenal at that stage. They do save the AWP though, and will be running the dual orb setup still. Fnatic take that round though. It's going to be a 4-2. And let's have a look at their buy coming in here. They should have the AWP, so yeah, so JW is going to be picking that one up and potentially hoping to have a little bit more impact than he did the first time round. So let's see where he's going to be going towards with this one.
Well, it looks like he's making his way over to boost, but JW does like the extra pick, so if he can get up through a main, in fact, they're actually pushing 2 players in through Squeaky side. So Fnatic very split with their attack. But Envyus in a great position for this too. Already with the 2 riflers right on top of the A. In fact, it's actually the AWP who's back at quad. Maybe have a little bit of trouble now that Squeaky door is open. Might be a little bit concerned about being rushed up.
They're going to smoke out of that probably, isolate Happy in this area, and then they can make their execute. He's just trying to wall bang through those, see if he can get up any damage. But JW picks up another frag there. Apex trying to react and make something happen. And this A site should be ready to take Happy, the last man remaining on it.
Oh, here comes the Molotov. So the 4-man attack from Fnatic. Kenny S actually able to bring down JW. So keeping him outside of Squeaky. The flash going to pop around the corner too. Trying to give Happy that cover to get back over to quad, but he can't do it. Crimson Pronax, they take over the site. And it's all up to Keo now with a 1-on-3. He does have 2 flashes, smoke, and a grenade. So the question is, does he want to go?
No, absolutely not. Considering that all 3 Fnatic players have full HP and they have smoke and flashbangs to hold him off, it's just not worth even trying to get this one. He wants to save this gun for next round. And it just came down to those picks. They slowed it right down, and JW is holding the tight angles there in towards the A storage, finds those initial picks, and he just left Happy isolated on the side with an AWP himself. And unfortunately for him, just left in a difficult position towards quad. We didn't see how MBK died there. I assume he was going for a flash face and just got taken out by JW, but there we go then. Fnatic managed to string 2 rounds together. Kiyoshima is going to be spotted towards the upper area now.
He's able to save that AK. Even as Olaf was the man chasing him. That little bump delay into the corner actually saved him a little bit of life. He could have got shot in the back with the timing that Olaf was taking. So
we saw JW have a very quiet last map. Going into, I think he finished with about 6 frags or something. But this time, he opens up one of the first gun rounds with impeccable style there. Gets the first 2 picks and really does summarize. And now they're going for those mid smokes once again. Maybe boosting up with this one. There's going to be more mid presence this time from Envyus.
They're actually boosting over the mid-red crates. They can get out without copping any spray through the wall. But Apex in a great position. Having that sandbag position means they can't go over boost. But again, Fnatic, they commit 2 players to go in through Squeaky. Getting Envyus to look behind themselves and bringing JW and Crims. This is that combo. They open the door and let JW just go straight for the shot onto Toxic. And, well, Toxic this time around will be clear. Oh. Shoots through the wall. Now, Happy already took a little bit of damage from the A main, I believe. And that has dropped him down low. JW thinking about going for a secondary shot. And, yeah, MBK holding in. He brings down Crim, still knows that JW's over there, and JW switches the AK, but it's not enough. MBK holding strong from Forklift. And Fnatic will be forced back off the A site now.
Some fantastic first couple of frags there from MBK. Makes it into a 5-on-3 situation. You see the T's have got some mid control now. Apex just going to fall back. Doesn't want to give his frag away in this situation. Bomb going to be down towards T spawn though. So Fnatic just desperately trying to find some frags here. They've got 30 seconds remaining on the board. They need to find a kill pretty much right now if they're going to have any chance of it. So do go and reclaim that bomb. But you can see mid control is going in favor of Pronax. He'll make his way towards connector there. And actually, that's the frag he needed. Apex goes down. 20 seconds remaining now.
Olaf needs to go big to get onto this side. Kenny S, he's already waiting there for him. Looking into A main, goes for the one shot. Now Olaf comes out. They've brought down Kenny S. 13 seconds still left on the clock. They've got the bomb, but it's an A main. It's getting over to the side right now. MBK moving in close. He can't find the angle to kill off the carrier. Instead, he's actually hunting for the kills, but Olaf's going to find him. He's managed to reclaim that AWP out from Envyus. Throwing down the secondary smoke, and now it's Envyus who have to do the retake. They do have the advantage. The Fnatic are very injured. The flash is flying, and they're battling it out. Flasher still over a quad. Kyo actually went up to the bomb. He's doing it himself, Flasher, and almost Happy's up, but he doesn't know where Olaf is. He knows he's around the corner. He's going for the defuse right now. He's not getting off it. Is Olaf even going to check it? Shoots him in the back. Fnatic will only barely win the round. Going now 4-4.
That was a 4-on-2 situation. Kenny S in that quad area missed an absolute sitter right in front of his screen there, and that was the kill that actually lost it for him. Once he got down, the bomb got planted, and it all fell apart from that point on. That's a massive round for Fnatic to win, and you can see it's actually broken the economy of Envyus as well. That's huge. And Envyus really are going to be questioning actually what went wrong there. It seemed like there was only 15 seconds left, and this is the last pick coming in from Olaf Meister going in. I'm not really sure what Kiyoshima was doing before that. He went for the full defuse in the 2-on-2 situation.
He must have thought his teammate had it.
Not really sure what he's hoping to happen in that situation, but there we go. He takes it. It's going to be a 4-on-4 that plays 4 now, and we got Desert Eagles coming in for Envyus. They have got body armor on Apex, but he's taking considerable damage. Now, much slower play from Fnatic, and they're just trying to work picks once again.
Yeah, there's no reason to give away weapons if they can hold on to them. So they open up Squeaky, so again, A site becoming this problem for Envyus, where they're having to look not only at A main, but they're worried about the push coming up through mid into highway as well as over from Squeaky and A main. It's a real problem for them. They can't just hold the quad position they've been trying to hold before. And now the peak, there goes Happy. Does get some good damage into Olaf, but Olaf checking every corner absolutely perfectly. He'll check over back towards Car, looking for that third. Apex is able to find one, but JW comes in to help out. So that is going to be the last man left alive, which is, well, Kyo. And he is all by his lonesome over on the B side.
It's kind of scary when you see Olaf Meister aim, get that crisp. You know he's kind of zoning in. And we talked about his his cash being really formidable, and it seems like he's just warming up now. And that's another round going in favor of Fnatic. It's going to be Kiyoshima remaining with the Desert Eagle here. He does get taken down by JW there. And now Fnatic stringing 4 rounds together. They really are bouncing back in this series.
Yeah. Olaf's had a great time as well with his entries. Now he's up to 10 kills for this T half of Fnatic.
They go back to the double AWP setup now. Did work for them for the first few gun rounds here, but started to get picked apart when JW got his AWP out. So let's see what he's going to do here. Did have a relatively decent mid-spawn. They're going to go for those mid-smokes once again to take away the CT vision. Nade coming in for the boost, but looks like they're going for more picks once again as they get control of A storage.
No easy way to find an entry onto Envyus, so they just play it a little slower. Obviously, as you said, understanding that Envyus are on a buy around and will probably be looking at that double AWP.
So you've got Apex as well. That actually is what I'm talking about. They've left middle control fully open here. They're not going to show any presence there from the CTs, and you see now Pronax has made his way out. He's going to be aware of this, but Happy takes down Olaf Meister. It's a massive pick considering what's going on and the positional control that Pronax has right now. He can get into the vents if he wanted to.
Especially the work that Olaf has done to get in through A main, because that means Envyus, if they want it, actually they do. They actually drop one player back into mid. So it's Apex, the man, looking over towards Pronax, and Pronax, is he going to finally make the little jump up? And the head, Apex, yep, now he sees it, and now he shoots it. So Pronax will drop down, and Fnatic, this is a really rough buy round for them, especially when Kenny S can do that. He tries to go for a shot through the smoke. Actually, no, he held onto his bullet. Didn't let it go a second time.
Kiyoshima helps him out. It's going to be JW saving the AWP goal, 30 seconds. And CTs definitely will be hunting him down in this situation, I think.
Yeah, they don't want to let him to hold on to that.
Yeah, it's going to be very important. So you can see them just working out where the bomb is right now, waiting until they get out the 20-second mark, and that's probably when they'll start getting the hunt on here. They know he's not going to be going for this. And there you go. So Envyus, MBK making his way back to the bomb site.
JW comes to the most defensive position he can think of, back to where he started the previous rounds at least, over next to Squeaky, but he won't come out of this door. And in fact, they are going to completely walk by him. So the AWP will be saved by JW, work for the next round, but what are we even going to get out from Fnatic?
We see Happy then JW won the first time they encountered each other on that A-bomb side of the AWPs. He finds the kill that time. It seems like Fnatic are just trying to take vision away from the mid area right now, so the TTs are second-guessing as to what's going on. They hit the mid-smokes down. They're aware that his Apex there by himself, so he can't really give a solid call-off in that situation. He's not sure whether the T's come out, and that means he has to keep questioning himself and giving pretty bad information in this sort of scenario. Now they can actually utilize this, and Pronax will be going out straight away instead of slowing it right down. And you can see he actually doesn't navigate through the smoke correctly. But once again, the CT's not showing any presence towards mid. They're going to allow that to be open, and Pronax makes his way out again.
He got flashed and smoked both times he attempted to come out of that mid. But now Apex moves back, so he'll be able to get that information. Actually, no, he can't. He can't see anything. They're moving so stealthily. Happy will get the information by snapping at back Pronax. And KennyS also had to bring down JW. They're pushing into the side, but locked up in A main. There is still that squeaky player left, but MBK going absolutely huge from quad, banging through the wall. Crimson gets some kind of revenge, but they're just going to try and bang through. He gets another one. Happy through the squeaky door. This door a lot more sturdy than the one over on Nuke. So we're still existing and giving that protection.
Well then, big plays coming in once again. You see Happy picking up initial frag, and then it all kind of fell apart from there. And now it's just going to be Crims left in the squeaky door area now, 5-5.
He's got to survive for 33 seconds. I'm surprised we haven't even seen it move from Envyus to go down through A main and try and get in around behind him. So at least they know 100% where he is.
What I like about this Envyus setup, when they go for the very passive and leave mid completely open, a lot of teams don't know how to handle that. They're not really sure what they should do with that sort of situation. And it means they have to almost face highway to work out what's going on. And Happy, I really like him because he can just play towards quad area of the AWP. And if he hits that first shot, it really does rattle the terrorist team now. So you can see Crims on 1 HP. Just about to buy him, there it is. Headshot through the wall. KennyS ends that nonsense straight away. And it goes 6-5 in favor of Envyus. And you can see the money isn't great for Fnatic camp. They probably could do some PT50s. JW got enough cash to drop a few perhaps, but not going to be force buying into this one now.
Yeah, JW holding onto that money because he was able to save the AWP from the previous round. So he didn't have to buy like the rest of his team. So the push will now come. But where does it come? Do they come aggressive? Because I know you were saying, like, if you got pistols normally on the pistol round itself, you at least try and go for the B. But Fnatic's attempts towards the B have always been the second thoughts, not the first thought.
Well, you can see them going towards middle once again. They're going to be running straight through the smoke. They notice it in an area they can get through into, and Apex will be taken down, so that is going to actually work out for them. And now getting taken down by MBK onto a highway area as well. They're just going to be trying to face that together. The Kiyoshima coming around the back now. Got the AK-47, managed to take down Crims, puts it to the 3-on-2, but now they know they've pretty much got this round tied up as long as they don't give another frag away. So just want to play this a lot more passively. But look, there's a player, JW, already in the checkers room. If he can find this one, they may be able to do it. Unable to land the shot, though.
No, we cannot. They have to retreat back out, but JW still going to get this plant down, which is also a victory for Fnatic. There's the fact that Flush has got this M4. Now he makes his play, and it's 14-6. It's 20 HP combined for the CT side, and it might look like Fnatic could take this round. They just can't get picked. JW turns his back at the wrong time. Kyo gets an opening. Flush was also right next to him. They're going to start with the smoke. And Flusher, he's playing this so patiently, sitting inside the smoke. Happy's moving up. Envyus, they're going for the defuse. Flusher finds one, finds a second. He takes the round. And Fnatic will level it up at 6 apiece. Such patience.
That smoke play, though, that was one of the CT smoke. They were trying to cut up that area for themselves, and he just sits in it and plays the situation perfectly. Waits till he hears the defuse in, comes through, low HP player in front of him, runs around, keeps spraying, and takes down a diffuser as well. That's absolutely massive there for Flusher, and a fantastic round to get them to 6-6 here and tie things up. CT's now money not great. You can see one player, Apex, on the Famished right now, and you have got the AWP on KennyS, though. So this is obviously going to be huge. If Fnatic can take this one, they're going to break the economy of the CTs.
And that is absolutely massive. Going into the last, well, we're on the third last round now of our first half. Happy. Just missing the little bit of a boost up. And waiting for him. He's got the perfect vision. That smoke isn't actually blocking up Happy's vision. They go for a second one, and he hasn't really hit that shot. The control will be enough to kill off Olaf. But the push comes out, and Crims shut down, moving out of Squeaky. And this push has failed pretty heavily for Fnatic. They've only got JW and Flusher left. Flusher at least able to do some kind of damage from highway into quad. Can't get the pick off on MBK. And JW with this off. He knows he needs to save it, but he can't do it. MBK going big in that round. And now 16 kills in total for the CT side for him.
Yeah, that boost was pretty much perfect from Happy there. Like, those the only plays they didn't consider to actually check or smoke off or even flash. He had that first pick. He had about 20 bullets to use onto Olofmeister, but he got it down, and then the rest of the frags came in their way pretty easily after that. So that was a big round. We talked about the CT economy being crushed there. We look towards the T's now. They've got the AWP on JW. He's brought up into this one, but he needs to find this initial frag, and he actually does. It takes down Kenny. This is the time for them to pounce now. Get into that B bomb side as quickly as they can. Apex only has the 5-7. He has to rotate and try and defend this. He gets taken down as well. JW, a fantastic second frag, and they should be able to get into the B site here, but there is one player in Kiyoshima waiting there as Kiyo comes back, and then MBK comes to the vents as well.
JW died right in front of Crims, but he didn't look over towards the vents, which is where MBK does all the work from again. And now Flush is also not looking in the right area. MBK going for more. He gets 3. Or I should say 2. He had help from Kiyo. The bomb plan still went down the A side. That's why the full commitment wasn't really there. It's up to the T's to hold it. And Olaf, big with the AWP. Keeping Fnatic in this for now. And he gets the shot on Kiyo as well. 7 rounds, 7. There is nothing in this map 5.
They took a huge risk there, buying up the AWP with the 4 pistols, and JW pulls it off, goes those 2 frags at the start of the round, going for that initial pick onto Kenny S, then coming in with a flex shot from the checkers area as well. They come back and make it the 2-on-2 theirs with the Olofmeister clutch there. And we can see a knife stab coming into Kiyoshima at the start of the round. Don't swing your knife around like that, son. It's going to lead to all sorts of trouble in the last round especially.
And Kiyo is the M4 carrier too.
Yeah, you're right.
he's the main man you're going to put in the front lines to get these initial kills, just like what happened previously with JW. And now JW opens up the account again, bringing down Apex after being boosted up. And Crims is once again causing some issues by making them look over towards Squeaky. Oh no, Cole switching over to his grenade. He wanted nade out the back of Tractor. Now Olaf, he actually gets gunned down by MPK, jumping through with a FAMAS. And this Fnatic last round of the first half is not looking fantastic.
They're going to be isolated towards the mid area now. It's been a position they've actually been able to control quite a lot, but Happy pushing through the squeaky door. Should be able to find a frag here. Misses his spray, and that's a massive miss for him. Should have been taking one player down, though, but MBK answers back. Takes down Pronax, bringing it to the 3 versus 2
MBK's
situation.
got no life, though. And Kiyo is still sitting at 36. So MBK at point blank, he might have only had 4 HP, but it's going to be enough. JW jumps through and will pick him off. He goes for actually the plant, pulls back off it. He needs the earlier kill, though. He realized a 2-on-1 wouldn't work for him. So Envyus come back, and in the last round of this first half, they're able to get a 1-round advantage. That's all that's in this game.
It was a really back and forth affair there. Lots of clutch situation. You can see MBK stepping up huge at 22 frags for him. It was a really big play there, and there's some amazing rounds. JW only got 10 frags, but some of the frags he did get were so impactful to the game, opening it up so cleverly with the AWP there. So this second half, I think, is going to be absolutely fantastic. So Envyus, slightly on the favored side at CT, will be going in with the advantage of 8 rounds. Let's see how this one pans out for them. We normally expect most teams to do a B rushes here, and I wouldn't be surprised if Envyus went for that. They like to sometimes do the delayed B rush, where they go towards B storage, wait for the nades, and then they'll go in after. But let's see what they bring to the table here. We have got a little pause coming in.
We have time to think.
Time to think, time to calm down after that, perhaps.
Well, I don't know if time to calm down is even help either team, because both teams have basically been like, yeah, MBK was going huge. Olaf and JW were really hitting shots. I don't think either team really want to lose the momentum they've got, because both teams are going to be feeling confident. They're able to find entry frags. Sure, you might get snapped back on 1 round, but you instantly get your confidence back on the 2nd round.
Yeah, no one really running away from it in that first half. It's going to be a really great last half here. I wouldn't be surprised if this one went to overtime. It's been that kind of series so far as we're in map number 5 here today. So we're just getting ready now to go into that second half. We want to keep it flowing. Let's get into this.
Man,
lose that hype.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Already, Fnatic have said they're ready to go, so we're just waiting on Envyus. They do take a little bit more time to talk before they go into their rounds. Be calm and calculated. They do have to switch themselves over now. And, well, CT side for Fnatic. Can Envyus actually break them? And how aggressive do Fnatic want to play? Do we see JW doing what I remember most of him? That quick push down to mid, try and control the front of garage, even boosting over.
He's been really clever at just going for those initial picks. He somehow finds them out of absolutely nowhere. That's what he's famous for. He goes towards A storage. He can find frags there. He went towards B, and that's the YOLO round they went for. They bought an AWP, 4 pistols, and he somehow finds that pick, and he gets another one as well. And those rounds can be so scary for them going into those kind of situations. There's so many rounds there. Like I said, he only got 10 frags, but some of them were so high impact moments for him. So that was absolutely fantastic from JW. Olofmeister seems like you had some glimmers of absolute amazing showouts as well. He had some good clutch situations towards the end there, picking up the AWP, picking up the 2 frags onto the A bomb side as well.
Yep.
So I think Fnatic will be reasonably happy with that half. Like, normally we expect them to win their terrorist half. They can be so strong on that, but the way Envyus have been playing today, I'm glad this is going right down to the wire. It's really hard to call who's going to run away with this now.
It's like no one also can keep this financial momentum, even when you do go down to pistols. Both these teams know Cash so well and know each other so well. They're finding every single corner when they've got to go into sites, and they're cleaning them up, and they're finding the players with these pistols. Not even having to go into these long-range deagle battles. It's actually nice close up and just trying to get the kill before you actually lose your own life, and then it's just tit-for-tat trade-off kind of play, which is fantastic to watch.
We saw Fnatic winning the pistol on that first half, but actually, of course, Envyus bounced straight back into it like they always do. They win the second round, and that's when they got 3 more after that as well. That's when they're looking really strong in that 4-1 situation. But when that happened, though, it came back, and then Fnatic got 4 rounds in themselves. It's been such a series like that, so back and forth. It seems like both teams are just kind of working each other out, then adapting, and then coming back into it and working out what they need to do here. So we saw a lot of dual orbs coming in for the CT side of Envyus now, and I think we are finally ready to go into the second half. And it's going to be it. I'm going to call overtime, Toby.
You're going to call overtime. I would not be surprised. How far it's gone back and forward. It is so close. Last half, at least, of this map 5, Envyus versus Fnatic. Who will be able to get the advantage here on pistol, and who will be able to hold it the round after pistol? Pronax so aggressively pushing into A main, throws out the grenade, and it's actually going to do some decent damage, but then he pushes in too deep. Flusher, as well as Kenny S, able to be the ones to find these kills. And Flusher very aggressively pushing up, and he actually finds the headshot on Apex too. This is so big for Fnatic. This is that aggressive push I was looking for from them.
Yeah, so they actually reacted with 4 players towards the A-bomb side. It's a big risk here considering what the T side normally do here, but now MBK getting into a checker room, takes down Olofmeister, taking it down to a 3-on-3 situation. Now the T's have a real opportunity to get into that site. You can see the rotation now coming in from the CTs, making their way to the upper site. And the Crims holding middle, waiting for any rotations coming out the vents here, but Kenny S is coming in with the bomb.
That lurker shutdown opens up the B site. Flusher can't find an angle right now, but at least can tell them that they've got to be at the back of the side, or over, in fact, out near Toxic. They're the only other 2, well, and Checkers location. But now the rest of Fnatic are coming in. So JW is now into Checkers, battling into the site with his CZ. Can he actually clean up Toxic? This would open it up a lot more for the retake from Fnatic, but they can't find the opening. MBK still on top of the site. Can he actually find one? Yeah, he can. It'll be Flusher. Tag goes for the second into Crims. JW is still doing the work. Actually gets the knife. He's going for the defuse, but there's no kit. Kyo's coming in behind. It's all going to blow up in his face anyway. Kyo will get the kill. There's at least some extra money coming in for JW because of the knife.
MBK continues his amazing streak there. 25 frags on the board. He gets 3 that round, and it just when they looked like they were out of it, that aggressive push coming in from Fnatic, locking down the round, finding those opening frags. You can see the chaos going on the bomb side on the screen right now. He gets into B, finds that information, gets that first frag as well, calls to his teammates to come over, and it's just an absolute amazing performance from him to hold on to that one. And he gets his 25th frag, and now the CTs are be forced buying into this, but JW has got that max 7. I'm not really sure where he's going to be going towards it with this one. Let's see what he's got planned for them.
Crims, deagle shots time, can't find the first headshot, tries to wait for the hero, the players to move in a little bit deeper. There goes Kenny S, down for the count. Crims, there's more support coming in, and it's really just a cluster here from Fnatic. Envyus have not found the initial kills they wanted. Olaf is able to play from the back, and even Apex, he couldn't do anything with the Mag 10. Now is Happy, who has his Mag 10, trying to finish it for the team, but they cannot do it. Fnatic hit back again, and not only that, they get the weapons off Envyus.
So the Desert Eagle from Crims opened things up, and of course the Max 7 works out with JW once again. And that's a really weird play from Envyus. They just wanted to end that anti-eco as quickly as possible. They knew a force power coming in. It's pretty much what we've seen every single time from Fnatic. They make their way to the B bomb site. It's quite a scrappy affair though. Instead of swarming the bomb site and making sure they go for that frag for frag sort of mentality, they're letting themselves go down to one-on-one situations that the CTs capitalize. But here we go then. Envyus do fight back as well. A stubbornness coming in.
JW got the vision there. He saw the boost up. He actually missed the grenade, which would have taken a lot of life off that Envyus pressure. But he's moved over. Squeaky opens up. Flash. He throws out the Molotov right on top of Squeaky. Takes the head off of MBK. But still Kyo gets onto the site. Pronax trying to go for the quick retake. He's already up here with that MP9 getting sprayed with the Tech 9 through the smoke, and Happy cancelling off Olofmeister's rotation. You do still, however, have that M4 as well as FAMs to try and retake the site, but now it's Envyus who have their weapons stolen back again. Crims spraying through onto the forklift. He can't find the opening, and now they're really not sure they want to do this, but they might be forced into it anyway. Happy with the AK. Flusher, he's going to be worried about the car as well as the Z. And now, in fact, gets brought down by Keo. Envyus now 10 rounds to 8. The retake of the retake of the retake.
It keeps happening, and Fnatic now need to make a decision. Are they going to allow themselves to get into this battle even further by keeping force buying here? It looks like they might not even have the option. They're actually going to do it, you know. They're going for the force buy. We're going to see it again. This time, though, it's a much stronger buy from Envyus. They have the AKs and, well, an MP9 and a Max 7 to go with it, but Fnatic making a huge play here. If they can win this round, I'll be absolutely amazed.
Olaf's got to do so much work with this M4. Like, JW is always going to play this little, like, close-in combat using the smoke, so we can hold at least closer towards the CT side of mid. But the push is coming in towards A main. And that's where they have to be. Pronax on the front lines. He does have the CZ, the Molotovs, both trying to make sure the quad is completely open. And JW just backing up even further. He's here to help out his teammates, seeing MBK can't actually get the shot, legs him up. Now he actually finds the chest, but they've lost Pronax as well as Flusher. Whereas Olaf, he's already taken a little bit of damage. As JW, he keeps cleaning it out. He's completely blind to the world as well. Keo back at quad. He's got the M4 in his hand. Olaf looking to make his way in. They're going for that plant, but up on top of red. Olaf, he takes out Happy. It's a 2-on-1 now. Will they make it to a 1-on-1? Apex, the plan is down. Olaf, that smoke on the side's kind of forcing him out, so he'll go for the flash, maybe force a reaction, gets flashed himself, however. He has nothing more left. Actually picks up a secondary flash, throws it around the corner, and well, where's that move? He comes back, but Apex using the weapon of JW to kill off Olaf. And that is now Envyus getting back-to-back rounds. Yep. The first time we've really seen in a very long time. It was 2 in a row.
Came down to the wire, though, JW, once again. He just plays around that smoke so smartly. He gets around there, somehow finds frags at absolutely anywhere he can, and that's going to be a big impact now to the game, considering they force ball once again. Their money is going to be absolutely broken now. You can see them pretty much taking a full eco here. A couple of PC-50s, that's going to be about it. Olaf must make his way to B storage and will get taken down there. JW answers back up to Happy, though. Now 4 players towards B. This didn't really work out for Envyus last time. It's when they got taken down as they make their way into the sites.
Yeah, Krim's going to play in really, really close up to heaven. One going in through hell, and MBK turns his back. The bomb is dropped. Krims, he can't find the kill, but he does the work for Flush to enter into the site. Now with an AK in his hand, Pronax going on the long flank. He's actually got that AK in hand, and Envyus, they're getting trapped. They're getting pincered in. Flush will find another one. It's almost a disadvantage to have weapons in this game of CS right now. As Keo, 15 HP on him. Flusher and JW aren't the healthiest of people, but they're trying to take it slow. There's the first spray out from Keo. This Molotov will actually potentially find a kill, forcing Flusher out, but they just do the work. Fnatic take the round back on pistols.
What is going on right now? They had 3 USPs and 2 PT-50s. That was it. And somehow Envyus decided to go towards B again. That did not work out the first time. They decided just to go straight in without gathering any intel whatsoever. They could have been boosting up a middle, working out what's going on, pincering the site at least towards B, but they went through that one choke point once again, getting locked down by one player on the site, and it all fell apart once again. Now they're going to be buying up. It's going to be a forced buy from them. This game just continues to deliver.
And they pop the vents. Apex already managed to pick off JW, playing very aggressive in the mid. They can try and regain these guns. It's now as Envyus that are doing the work. They did buy 3 AKs and the 2 upgraded pistols, but Fnatic getting over-aggressive, feeling like they might have just been on a full eco, spraying through the smoke, but giving away their positions while they did it.
So 5-on-2 now. Krims and Flusher have got rifles, but that mid control coming in, and there's finding those entry kills coming in. MBK, Apex, and Kiyoshiba, that little dream team running around, getting big frags there with the AK-47s. And it looks like now the CTs...
They're saving.
Well, they're going to keep one towards that B-bomb side. Krims, I think he's like the last line of defense. If he goes down, the dream truly is over. But it looks like now the guys have made the call. Happy is on the A-bomb side. He'll be able to call over his teammates.
Yep.
And this should be a pretty convincing round now. That was great stuff.
At the same time now, like, you wait for Envyus to start the hunt. Like, to actually win on economy. You need these weapons out of the hands of Flusher.
They want to make sure this kind of nonsense stops. There's so many back-to-back rounds of people just force by, getting back into it. And once again, Envyus buy up into this round, and they answer straight back here. So the CT's unable to stabilize their economy just yet, but saving these 2 guns definitely will help. Oh, Happy's not going to have any of that as he takes down Flusher. He's just going to leave Krims out on that B-bomb side.
And they're all over him. They're coming in from all angles right now. Checkers as well as Toxic and Krims. He hasn't revealed his position, but MBK is about to come and have a check. Maybe Keo. Okay, well, he finds one. How long can he hold this M4? That bomb is ticking down for now, but they're just converging on him vultures towards a live corpse. Crims, now he's a real corpse. MBK will find the kill. And Envyus, more rounds coming their way, but it's still going back and forward now. 12-9 on the board.
Yep, so it's 4-2 in this current half. And I think just looking at the money right now, they may have broken the CT economy once again. So this is going to put Envyus in touching distance and getting this series pointed. They're getting very close now. This is going to be a full eco once again from Fnatic, but that didn't hold them back before.
No, it didn't. But they've only got two Deagles. That's all they've got right now. And there, well, there goes one of them. JW also purchased up a nade, which he dropped with him. So Flusher will have to do a lot of work here. But already the B side, they've given it up. They group up as a team. Maybe they can find a pick off. Happy is probably the most exposed, looking down through mid into Z. Fnatic, what do you even do here? The bomb hasn't even been planted. It's actually coming back through Garage. So they moved over to the B side. Now Happy, he does find a pick off on Pronax. So they split the mid. And MBK is like wondering, where the hell are the CTs? They're lying in wait. MBK, where's that head? Ah, he can't find a Flusher. And Olaf and Crims, the last men left alive for Fnatic. They'll be hunted down like dogs.
A much more comfortable round. That's how you should be approaching the anti-eco situation. Instead of just choosing one bomb site and taking that calculated risk of going in and just hoping you clear it out as quickly as possible, they made sure they actually got some map presence there. Walktower was going on a middle, and then Happy getting into the Z schools there, gets the first pick, and then is able to get into the bomb site there. It makes it a much more convincing round, as you can see that one coming in. So 13 rounds on the board now for Envyus. And then see, the Fnatic money still isn't great. They may have to take one more eco here. And this is a really scary prospect.
Painful. That's so painful.
I think they will have to buy that, just considering what's going on right now.
They buy it up. They got the AWP onto JW. No head armor required. Just going to be all the basic armor for him. But with Famises and M4s, they have to hold this. JW hoping for the boost pick to get any level of advantage. But this time, Envyus heavily committing to A. 3 through main, 2 through the side. In fact, one floater sitting back. So indecision so far from MBK. Probably going to be there for the smoke. But Flusher, he's got a really good angle from the truck, as long as he can keep that vision up. But they've got smokes, they've got nades, they've got Molotovs, they've got everything. So when they come, the flash is there, and it's actually Envyus who are blind as they make their way in. Where is this CT defense? They're coming in for the retake, more than likely. A lot stacked up over on truck, but already Apex and Kenny S, they do their work. Pronax is down, JW to join them. This is a huge round right now from Envyus. They get the AWP back into Flusher, but Fnatic, they have to save.
That was huge. So they chose to leave the A bomb site completely open there. They went for a full retake setup, and without the lack of kits they had and the lack of utility, it really wasn't an option there. Kenny S kicking off, finding 2 frags at AWP once the execution came in. It was a really nice play there from Envyus, and they actually managed to get the 14th round on the board now. And if they can find these 2 kills, this will be huge. They're going to do everything they can to hunt down Flusher. They know he's got the AWP on the B bomb site. He's above them though. What happened there?
He just jumped over the box and basically live teabagged him. 14-9. Envyus. Taking the round in style. Let's see that again.
I just saw some feet on his screen. I was wondering what's going on here.
It's a bounce over the box. Flusher didn't notice he's coming towards the right. Wait, there's feet right in front of me. I thought I smelled a stiff breeze.
Oh, wow. Okay. What a way to finish that round. But that's a really nice execution. The perfect play Envyus could have even hoped for there.
And what a time for Fnatic to pause. They need time to think.
It did the smoke play onto A, and there was no presence whatsoever from the CTs there. It was just Flusher at that truck area, and he wasn't able to do anything. Once he got smoked out, the frags they tried to push through got taken out there. And Envyus really are in the driving seat right now. Fnatic need to work out what they can do. The money cut right now is sat at about 2,500 average, I would say, across Fnatic board. But what are they going to do? Do they take this ego on the chin and try and play out for the overtime? Or
yeah, that's the decision. Like, the only other option is like to charge them.
I think they probably will buy into this. Like, it seems like
they are.
Oh, yeah, here you go. So
they're going full Fnatic.
So Famises, 5-7s, CZs, and I think Envyus will be well aware of the economic situation. They're so close to taking this, finally taking down Fnatic in the grand final. Will they be able to do it this time? The unpause comes in. Fnatic have made their decision how they're going to approach this one. Maybe will they go for the stack here, or will they just be playing a traditional kind of 2-1-2 setup? Let's see how this one comes in.
Watch the play. Is this it? Fnatic, it really is just an all-in. They put all their chips into the middle of the table, and they need to make Envyus hurt at the end of this round. Also, so they can hold on to their weapons, because they'll have nothing in the next round. If this is the case, apart from a couple of upgraded pistols, aka what they've got now. So they tried to go for an A stack. There was nothing that came. It's over towards B instead. A quick rotation as well as a very early flank from Pronax. Now he's got one directly above him. Is Happy up on the boost point. They're coming in already. Kenny S finds that initial kill onto JW. And they're realizing now, Envyus, that Fnatic have weapons. They have to be careful about this.
Taking a lot of damage there. MBK goes down to 29 HP, but Kenny S has got the opening pick now. Crims isolated on the bomb side. He has got men coming in, rotating to help him out, but Envyus make their way onto the bomb side now.
Yeah, he's realizing he's lost control of the left side, so they're into hell at the moment. Apex actually able to get around the back, killing off Creams, taking out Olaf. This is the round right now for Envyus. They get through Flusher as well. Apex going huge. Pronax might be able to find one. Even then, a little bit of chip damage goes out. He gets tagged up on the way, but he's also getting flanked, and that is where, well, he is just trapped inside of a maze of death. Pronax, there's no way out. He smokes his way through, but he finds at least Happy, but he will find nothing more. Envyus now with 6 championship points here against Fnatic.
Obviously now, Fnatic have to buy up into this one. It's all or nothing. They need 6 in a row to finish the overtime. We saw them have an amazing comeback on Dust 2 at the Major. This one may be too far gone to get back into, I'm not sure, just considering the money they have right now. CZs, Max 7s, Famis on Crims, and Flusher with the 5-7 now. You can see them actually going for 2 players towards middle, 2 on the A bomb site.
Look at them run.
Here we go, fast play onto the A.
They're going to play so quickly. They've got the momentum. They want to end this in style. MBK, he now actually goes past his 30 bomb. JW and Olaf, they are at least inflicting some level of damage into Envyus, and maybe they can do it. Olaf, he's brought it back to a 2-on-2, spraying through the smoke, caught with his grenade out. Kenny S, now it's a 2-on-1. Crims, can he keep the dream alive right now for Fnatic? Happy back down in mid, while Kenny S is on the side. The bomb is in the middle of the open, and Crims is actually backing up. He's coming back through Z. I think he realizes just how split up he is. But that bomb is still on the site.
Zip, they're just trying to make sure they utilize all this time they have available. They don't want to give a single frag away here. They've got the huge advantage. This is it. Championship points. If they make this last frag, they've done it.
Still, it's amazing how much of a spanner Fnatic have thrown into the works here. Envyus, now the push comes around the back. Crims, he might get shot in the back, and there it is! Envyus will take it! 16-9! It looked like the dream might have died on train. We then pushed to Inferno, and the dream became even more of a nightmare. But they push back here in map 5. They will take it out here at EGX, the G50. I present to you your champion of champions. It is Envyus!
Well, there you have it. What a contest. What a contest we've had from these two teams. Show your appreciation, please. Show your appreciation. Wow. Woo! Not bad. Not bad. Yeah. Well done. Absolutely superb stuff. Do you want to enjoy that? Was that good? You enjoy that? You enjoy it at home? Of course you did. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, please, round of applause for your champions, Envyus. Come on. Well done. Right. That was mammoth. That was some effort. How are you feeling?
Really good, really good. It's like awesome, you know. We like win the true first map, and after they come back, and yeah, the feeling is really good.
Because I think, like, you know, you've got loads of your fans here. They've been loving you, supporting you all day. How hard is it to play for what effectively is, you know, 4.5, 5 hours at that level?
We have a lot of pressure, and we are really tired. Like, our brain's not really maybe helpful, you know. Yeah. But it's really a pleasure to play in front of a lot of people like cheering for us or something like that.
Good stuff. They've loved you. Well, I think all that's left to do really is, guys, make your way over to the trophy, take it to the front, lift it up. Yes, please, take the trophy all the way to the front and lift it up. And everybody in the room, make some noise for your champion of champions, Team Envyus, people.
Time for your Give it up one more time for your Gfinity champion of champions. It is Envyus. Absolutely incredible game, guys. Wonderful play, back and forth. I mean, we could not have asked for a better game 5.
No, definitely not. I mean, I knew it was going to be, you know, a huge, you know, final. I knew it was going to be just a monumental map. But again, Envyus saved the best to last. They went through the gears over the course of the game. You 2-0 up, you let Fnatic back into it, and then they just showed, you know, they put on a masterclass on Cash, which was just, again, it's the T rounds that won this entire final for them. Their T side right now is the strongest out of any team I've seen.
Yeah, that's why it was fitting, though, that even the order was like that.
Yeah.
They had to start CT side. Amazingly, Fnatic were the ones actually pulling in Envyus. They were winning all these rounds where they had the pistols, where they had the force buys. It was going so well for them on the first half. And you thought, hey, they might have gotten enough rounds here. But then the guys from Envyus were able to win enough T rounds to close the game out and win the last map. And obviously, through the whole series, it was terrorist sides which had won them the series and basically won them this tournament.
Yeah. Absolutely. Let's give Richard his chance to gloat.
Now, look, I don't like gloating. I never gloat when I get predictions right. But every time I do a Gfinity desk, right, if I make a bold prediction, the production just go in on me, like in on me, in on me, in on me. Well, there you go. There I am in the middle, appropriately a crown above my head. I'm the champion of champions. There you go. I'm having my moment.
Let's get those 2 knives out. And put them really near that crowd.
Yeah, well, you know.
All right,
when I
so
have my hair transplant, Duncan, that's how it's going
all
to
that
go
matters
down.
is that Henry G's team again didn't even make the final.
Yeah, no, yeah.
That's all that matters to me.
Expert colour man there.
So let's talk about the T side for Envyus, all right?
Yeah, man.
What this game, we saw it throughout the past 2 days. We saw the T side work for them. What was it about this last map, the last game, the way they played it?
Right, okay, well, there was lots of things actually going on. I talked about they stepped up a level. We already talked about MBK. He's the obvious guy to talk about here because there's the sheer volume of frags he had. But MBK on the CT side was ridiculous. But he was even making a contribution on that T side, which isn't how they usually play. But finally, you know, Kiyashima actually showed up and made an important contribution as well. He was getting frags. I still think overall for Envyus, the overall MVP for them over the course of the tournament has to be Apex. I think he dragged them kicking and screaming through some maps, you know. That's what you need, you know, big performances. Kenny S as well. He had it was all the parts working in harmony, basically. There wasn't any dead weight on Envyus. Tellingly, Happy was sort of the bottom fragger, but still made a good contribution. That's what you want. Generally, when Happy stopped fragging, it's because he's having to kind of get in those positions, get those lurker kills, get those bait kills. It means tactics have failed. It means something's going wrong. All the big players for Envyus showed up, and like say MBK, masterful performance in that last map from him on both halves. So just to talk about it in terms of tactics, I thought their executes were excellent. I still think they needed to learn, and like I said, don't go to that B site. It's going to be incredibly hard for you. They did have a few wins on there, but again, controlling mid and doing those A executes, I don't think even Fnatic, who are phenomenal CT sides, had an answer to that.
And again, the fragging was also just incredible.
Yeah.
Like when they basically any map where Envyus have 3 of their fraggers really go off, at the moment, no one in the game can stand against that. I mean, you saw in this game, actually, in the first half again, Olafmeister was living up to the narrative again. It's his map, you know, they were doing really well. He was the one getting him in the game. He couldn't really do much on the second half because when he was playing against those guys, I mean, obviously MBK saved his absolute best performance for this map, but Apex was going off. Kiyashima picked it up a bit, and so I actually felt like, yeah, again, fragging's too much when Envyus have it all going. That which makes, it then emphasizes the T side and just makes the T side crazy and it's totally out of control. And so there's not many teams that are going to be able to beat this Envyus side when they have those qualities in place.
Yeah, and of course, there was a couple of key rounds for Envyus on that T side. The force buys, getting them back in it again. We saw that. I can't remember whereabouts it was in the scoreline, but we saw Envyus, you know, they just lost 2 buys in a row. They're like, right, now we got to do pistols and maybe a mixed buy. They do it. They win the rounds. They close out the final map in a final. And I know we're going to come back and talk about it some more, but it's, for me, I think when we look back, I think Counter-Strike historians, I think we might be looking at a big turning point in what's happening in the current scene, but I'm sure we'll ramble on about that some more.
And as we kind of set up before the final, this is the first time where, with no outside circumstances, Envyus, the core members, have actually beaten this Fnatic lineup in any kind of a series.
And it's a best
now
of
it's
5.
a best of 5.
Yep, absolutely. So we're going to, real quick, take a break here, and we're going to go over to Banks, who has a player interview. Take it away, Banks.
Thank you, Lycan. I am joined by MBK. Firstly, a huge congratulations. Now, what I want you to talk me through is the first 2 maps you guys looked very strong, especially on train, a convincing win there. Did you feel like at that point it was going to be, you're going to close it out 3-0, or were you still a little bit nervous at this point?
After the first 2 maps, that where the pressure started kicking in. When we're not at that pressure point where the last where any map could be the last one, we're just playing not completely carelessly, but we're playing perfectly without pressure, and we're not worried at all. We just played our A game in those first 2 maps, and then it just went crazy.
Now, we come on to the third map there. Obviously, Fnatic manages to take it from you, but it seemed like you were just giving them so much more of a push compared to what you were with your first 2 maps. What do you think that is? Is it the new lineup, or is it the fact that you feel like you know Fnatic better? Have you prepared anything special?
It's very different. Out of the game for our team, I'm the one preparing the games, like coaching the team pretty much and sharing my experience. So I take that role of trying to focus everyone and do the prep team talk before the games. But it was just Fnatic playing better than us in all the clutch situations on the 2 maps we lost. There were still tight games, and it just went back and forth all the time.
Now, final question I'm going to ask you here is, what did you do to keep your team motivated in a situation where it got to the 5th map? Because obviously long day, best of 5, very hard games you're going right to the edge with. How did you keep it all together?
Well, it was pretty easy, to be honest. I just said one thing. I said, everyone shut up and frag.
Shut up and frag is the way forward.
Yeah, that was that way. But yeah, as a last point, that's the first time we beat Fnatic, right? And if we're able to play that good and to push our limits, is really thanks to them by really playing that good. So I want to also give them props, obviously, for all the tournaments they won and pushing us to our limits again. And now it's just until the next one, which is probably going to be the major.
Well, thank you very much, and congratulations once again. Can we have one more time, a round of applause for Team Envyus and the guys on the analyst desk.
Absolutely awesome to hear from them. Guys, let's now talk about the overall experience we had this weekend. First of all, one thing I want to highlight is let's talk about the Zeus play, okay? We discussed how it's kind of coming into the meta, especially with the change. It was really highlighted, especially in the games we saw yesterday. Can you kind of talk about how we're seeing that already being perceived in the community?
Well, look, I made the point when we started talking about the Zeus that it's a viable thing. It's fitting in the meta. It's completely worthwhile. And I said, I think in a few weeks, maybe even a month, you're going to see pro players complaining about it and wanting it to be nerfed. Well, actually, it didn't even take that long. It took a day, exactly 1 day. And I'm not saying I disagree with the pro players, but what I do know is, as being somebody that's been around esports for a long time, pro players are a little bit resistant to change. And if you gave any pro player in any game the option to revert back to a previous patch, especially if they were the best in it, everyone would choose it unilaterally. Why wouldn't you? That's all you need to care about. You don't need to care about the evolution of the game or making these exciting for spectators. All you care about is what works for you on an individual basis. And in that sense, I think players can be a little bit blinkered. Now, I'll ask Duncan's thoughts on this. I don't even know. I don't necessarily think it's overpowered. I think it's situational. I think it could get to a stage where you could probably tweak it a little bit better, take a little bit off it, so it's not like a de facto go-to buy. But as it is right now, I don't think we've seen enough of it to really make a judgment one way or the other.
I mean, it wasn't used that much. Like, for example, in this last match here, it had basically no impact on the whole series. It was very rarely ever used.
But I don't think Cash is a map you can really...
I mean, the whole series, though. The whole best of 5.
True.
You almost never saw it. It's almost like they forgot it existed, actually. Yeah. And so the big problem for me is in the majority of cases it's used, it's not a problem. But every now and then you are going to get a situation where someone gets a kill, they had no money, they get a rifle from it, they get 2 more kills. And so the swing is the big problem, I think, there. And as I mentioned before, unfortunately, because it's a close-range weapon, I mean, it's not really anything you can do to it. It's not like, because it's just one bullet, essentially, you're just firing at them. In general, I don't really like weapons. Like, it's one of the problems I have with a lot of the pistols. I don't like the concept in general that you can shoot one very cheap weapon, and if you hit this one bullet, you get the whole kill and the guy's gun and everything. It makes the game too variable in my sense. Like, if you have a pistol, unless it's something like the Deagle, which is expensive, and you have to stand still, you should have to hit multiple shots. So, okay, let's say same scenario. Say you had to hit twice with the Zeus or something. Okay, well, no one would have a problem with that. It'd be really hard.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I don't, look,
Or if hitting with it did 80 damage, you know.
Yeah, I don't
You'd
really...
still set someone else up to get the kill, but you wouldn't get it entirely. So it'd add a little bit more skill to it.
I mean, if it went off like a taser, like, I don't know, temporarily stunned someone or locked them in, you know, so it could set
there's
a kill or something.
A lot of concepts, where the idea is it isn't such a, binary thing. You either get the kill and you totally wreck the whole gun, or just nothing.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, look, Valve will look at it. This is what I mean. It's like what I like about games like this in general is, you know, you make a change, you throw it out there, you let the pros sort of assimilate it. We see what the optimum play is, and we get that after a few weeks, few tournaments, and then maybe we change it, maybe we don't. So yeah, I can understand pros being a little bit upset about it, but you know, give it a chance to see where we end up. It would be what I say to that.
All right, let's now talk about your favorite moments, I guess, of the whole tournament. You can go ahead first, Richard.
Well, I mean, so much to talk about. Again, I mean, potential last hurrah for NIP. And, you know, it might not look like it, but they actually had some really good performances against Fnatic. And I would argue go out on a high, even though, of course, they didn't make it past this semi-final in the Champion of Champions. I think... overall, it's hard to look past Envyus winning the thing. As I was saying, I think this is going to be a big point in CS history where we're going to look back at this and say this is where this team arrived. I've said all along, I think this team will go on to be the world's #1. I think this is the stepping stone to that reality. I can't wait for the next major, predicated on what I've seen here. I think it's going to be absolutely immense. But yeah, and just Flusher as well, his individual performances, like ridiculous, disgusting. Just one of the best all-round clutch players out there. I'm trying to think of something nice to say about Virtus Pro. Like, I mean, obviously they were still very good. I mean, Snacks was godlike yesterday. He's obviously back to his best. He's now done it in 2 back-to-back tournaments. There was just loads of great moments. But again, obviously, for me, I still think this is the moment where we start saying, the signs were there that when Envyus have gone on and won a few more tournaments and we're talking about them as the #1 team, this is the moment we're going to look back to and say this is where it really happened, this is where it really clicked, this is where they came of age. So I think that's hugely important.
I'll start with Nip. So I thought Forrest, with that 37 kills or something he had in the Dust 2 game, if he doesn't win that one, actually Fnatic would have made pretty easy work of that series, because the next map was that absolute battering on Cobblestone. So I think it would have been pretty much over for them already, but that gave them the hope, gave them the chance to at least do something. Same series, we had an Olofmeister performance on Inferno, where actually Fnatic lost the game, but they did that crazy comeback from 4 to 15 down, got it to overtime, and that's because in those 11 rounds, Olofmeister put 19 kills on the board. Obviously, in the final, he had another amazing Inferno performance, this time CT entirely locking it down. I think for the Envyus guys, probably Apex's game against Virtus Pro on Inferno T-side, where he had those, I think it was 25 kills or something ridiculous, and just completely took over the game in what ended up being a really exciting match. For Virtus Pro, I think the standout for me is the idea that, okay, they lost the best of 5, but Snacks actually averaged 20 kills for all 5 of the maps. Yeah. Now, that's incredible. If you can do that, you're like a world-class player, because you lost the series, and yet you're consistently at that higher level. It definitely wasn't him who cost him that series in any sense. He could have put up the same performance and been in this final now. So I think, as you see, there was special moments for everyone. And that's also predicated on the format, because since we had best of 5, and we ended up seeing 5 maps from all the teams, and we got to see all these different literal maps, like we're going to Cash, we're going to Inferno, we're going to Train, basically got to see almost everything. I think the only one we didn't see over the weekend was Overpass. There's the only map we didn't see. Yeah. Because of that, we got so many opportunities to see great players play. And because it's a best of 5, you notice certain players started out these best of 5 slow. Like, actually, I think Olofmeister actually in the first game against Nip had a really poor performance on Dusty, but the last 2 maps was where he was warmed up, he was really rolling. Same thing here. So as a result, you really got to see the full gamut of what can the teams do on all the maps, what can all the players do, and it's very rare in general that you had a player who for the whole series could do nothing, was just feeding. RIP Freiburg.
Right. All right. MVP of the entire event.
Freiburg.
You're such an asshole, man. I love you, though. Okay, so MVP for me, I mean, you're going to have to, I guess, based on the fact that he's going to giggle to himself about that for ages, though. Right? The predicated on the fact that they won it, I'm going to probably say Apex for Envyus. I thought he was the most consistent performer overall. He had so many entry frags, monstrous performance on Inferno as well, that we talked about against Virtus Pro. And yeah, I think he's kind of back. Well, when he first came in the team, he was like an absolute unplayable. And then he kind of just dropped off a little bit, was kind of not so great out in Dubai and stuff. But now he's obviously proven that he belongs in a team like this. He can fill the boots of Shocks, no problem there. And yeah, he was just great. So I'm going to give him the MVP. But it's got to be said, just pound for pound, probably he's the best all-round player that was here. Was on Fnatic, and it was probably his flusher. I mean, like, at the end of the day, I know Olaf Meister had all the flashy rounds, but just in the sheer volume of clutches, the sheer number of frags, just the consistency across every map they played, Flusher was easily Fnatic's best player, and there's an argument that even though they lost the final, he was still the most valuable overall.
You could literally make a 10-minute long movie called Most Unlegit Pro Player of all Flusher's insane clips. Because the thing is, when he would get these kills, they were impact in as much as half of them should have been impossible. It was like spraying someone super long range and getting the headshot, shooting people through smoke, winning 1v2s. It was really crazy stuff. If they'd have won, I think I'd have given him the MVP. I'll go with Apex as well, because even though he wasn't like consistent map after map really good, when he was on, he just won the maps outright. He just won them T-sides outright, and obviously that I don't think they'd have even been in the final without that Virtus Pro game I referenced before on Inferno, where he was absolutely, it's one of the best entry fragging performances you will ever see. And so I think, yeah, you've got to give him the MVP, and it's a great narrative because at DreamHack London, where they actually won that tournament as well, he was really poor in the final, and I guess he didn't cost them it because they won the title, but if they'd have lost, he'd have been the GOAT who would have been blamed for it, So it's great that he came back here, had a great performance in two series, and they're leaving champions.
And we've had two great finals on UK soil as well. DreamHack London was great. This eclipses it even more. The level of Counter-Strike that was played here was amazing. And just really, like I say, really happy for Envyus. It's obviously commiserations to Fnatic. They've contributed to a great final. They're still the #1 team in the world. One tournament in isolation doesn't mean anything. So, credit to them. But as I said, I think Envyus, best team on the day. Their T-sides are just, for me, it's undisputable. They just are the best T-sided team.
What's really important for Envyus is something I stressed early on as to a question mark I had about them was the map pool. Even at DreamHack
but I still think
London,
you're right.
Well, even at DreamHack London, I only had to see them play Dust 2 and Inferno. Well, we know they can play those maps. Now, part of the reason they were able to win here was cash for a start off. There's a map they were able to compete on. They were able to beat Fnatic on, I think they won Mirage, right? Yeah. So they were able to expand the map pool, and they were able to play more. And, okay, they haven't got Train down. That's still missing. Overpass, they're banning all the time. So there's 2 at the moment they're not working on. But, hey, 5 or so out of the map pool, still pretty good. And to beat Fnatic on Cobblestone, to beat Virtus Pro on Cobblestone, that's definitely now, for me, they might be the best Cobblestone team. That's really suddenly becoming a possibility for them. So I think that's really big for them. In terms of Fnatic, I mean, we saw in both of the series they played, they had times where they weren't even playing that well. In the final, I don't think they were actually that close to Envyus' level, but they still got the final right to the last half, really competing to win. Just because, like I said, these guys know how to win. It's like whatever they have at their disposal on that day, they'll get the most out of it. And it's always beautiful to watch. It's always fun to watch, and it's a really difficult puzzle that the enemy has to solve. And this time, someone managed to solve it.
Yeah, and just to get back to the DMX Bible, Envyus show no love to Swedish thugs. So there you go.
Absolutely, guys. It's been a great pleasure working with both of you. I really appreciate your time. Excellent analysis, excellent input and insight. Thank you both. From here at the Gfinity Analysis Desk, that is all for us. Congratulations to Team Envyus, making their mark in the Counter-Strike history and setting the tone for the future. Everyone, from Gfinity and myself, have a good night.
Hero. I wanna be a hero. Oh, the hero comes, I can hear the drums and a horse is driving.